running on iPad 4, and we're showing here on the Gamescom a few missions that we have from the single-player campaign. The single-player campaign in Anomaly 2 features 15 missions that account for about 8 to 10 hours of gameplay that you can enjoy. And apart from single-player campaign, you also have multiplayer, similarly as in the PC version of the game. Because what we aimed to do with this game was to directly port the PC title, which is also available on Mac App Store, directly on mobile phones, and also iOS devices, of course. The minimal device that we will support is iPhone 4S for this game, and this is because this game, as I said, is directly ported from the PC, so the demand, the requirements are pretty high for this. Okay, so what you can see now here is one of the environments that we feature in this game, one of the three environments: winter, icy or freezing environment. And at the beginning of this mission, you are presented with a new unit. It's a hammer unit, and what it does actually is that it features a lot of range. It has a lot of range, but he only fires straight ahead. So that's the downside of the unit. Let's speed it up. Alright, so some videos, help tutorials. For example, we have more than a 2.5 hour of those kind of videos just to help out on the gameplay, just not to get you confused. That's much, because most of them consider multiplayer, and multiplayer is of course explained via tutorial levels, but still we felt that it's very unique, very innovative, because it's tower offense, tower defense multiplayer, so it might get very confusing at the start. So
will there also be a German version?
Yes, we are localizing this game to 6 languages, also German.
Oh, that's great.
German included. Alright, so let me speed it up. And the core of the gameplay didn't change here, so still, we manage the squad, we can scroll around, upgrade the units if we can afford it. I don't right now. The abilities are still there. 2 of them, as we see now, are the same abilities that you know already from the Anomaly Wars on Earth and Anomaly Korea, so that's Repair and Decoy. And as I will, sorry, it's hard to control over the shoulder. When I will load up a different level, we will see additional new abilities that are available here. So on the iPad 4 we have a great texture resolution, for example, so you can see even the script, the writings here, the directions over the road. You can see the geometry on the track over here, and all the, for example, those icy rocks, all based on geometry. So apart from multiplayer, the second unique selling proposition that we have in this game are morphs. So each and every unit can transform in its alternative form. So this unit that shoot only straight ahead can also transform to Rocket Hammer. And what Rocket Hammer has is a slightly less range, but it can turn around freely. Alright, so those guys are moving around. The level looks great. What we do is that we scale resolution and scale graphics when the device doesn't have an appropriate performance. So highest resolution and highest graphics for iPad 4, for example, and iPhone 5, but on the older devices we need to manipulate, we need to optimize in order to keep the frame rate and still the game playable. Let me show you
what's the minimum iPhone 4 or
iPhone 4S.
Oh, sorry.
And iPad 2, and we are also, of course, running on iPad Mini.
Oh, that's great.
Alright, let me cross to another level. So casual, just not to be destroyed very quickly. Alright, so loading screens, the same as in the PC, voiceover fully, and the story is being explained here. Short loading screen. And this is the jungle. The jungle is pretty amazing. This was one of the most demanding levels that we faced during the development of this game and optimization it for the mobile devices, and that is because it requires a lot of transparency, because there are a lot of plants and bushes and trees here, so we had to render all of those layers of terrain or textures. Alright, so also a very important thing to note here is that since the beginning of the Anomalies franchise, we kept tweaking the gameplay. So if you played Anomaly first in Korea, you noticed that in each and every mission the gameplay was fairly different, because the goal of the mission was different. So for example, in this mission we have to manipulate this beam and guide it through the net of transmitters to the main antenna. So, and what's also pretty cool about it is that this beam disables towers. So instead of strictly passing through one transmitter to another, we can also manipulate it. Let's skip the cutscene. Manipulate it to, for example, disable those towers. And if we, we have to have a squad here, or a unit. Alright. So what I did now is I disabled those towers, so that may be very helpful in terms of the gameplay, because you can freely manipulate this beam and, for example, disable Behemoth over here and Scorcher. Alright, so let's see the units. We have 5 units in Anomaly 2. In this level, only one of them, Shadow Servant, is disabled still. And each of them, as I said, has a different form. So, for example, Tank can transform into drone support, which what he does is basically boosts each and every ability that you throw. So we had this in PlayStation 3 version, boosting abilities. This guy, for example, he slows down the fire rate of enemy towers, and this guy shields your units. So it is left for you to decide what you want to use, whether you want to slow them or shield your squad. Okay, let's take a few other, and now we have a full convoy ready for battle. And zoom in as much as we like, and the action begins. And 2 new abilities, as I mentioned. The first one is EMP. What it does is basically disables towers. So it's completely disabled, and until I will target this tower, it won't move. But since I'm shooting at it, it woken up. Alright. And the second ability is aim. What aim does is direct my fire, for example, from this unit to the tower that I've targeted, and it improves the damage dealt to this tower. So massive damage dealt right here to the Behemoth. Oh, I'm dying here. Alright, but as you see, the graphics are tremendous. We expect that this game will be, as Anomaly Wars on Earth was, a benchmark for the hardware manufacturers, and also a show-off for iOS devices, of course.
Yeah, that's great, yes.
To see what games are capable of nowadays. And we are treating now, since the Anomaly 2, we are treating iOS and Android devices, the high-end devices, of course, as any other platform, as Mac, as Linux. We take the same game, just cut the polygons, reduce the polygon count, and just throw this on another platform. That's our approach.
It's fantastic what's possible at mobile devices. It's unbelievable.
Exactly, and you can throw it on the TV. You can stream it on the big screen, because the resolution of the iPad 4 is like 2500 to 1500. So still, it's a tremendous resolution, and it looks better